Lou, it's been a minute, but apparently FTX is starting distributions in the near future. I'm a little bit sick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice.
You're like Phoebe Buffay from Friends, and who always wants to be sick because her voice is super sexy when she's sick.
It's kind of hot. So, Lou, do you want to walk us through what is going on with FTX and when customers are finally seeing a payout?
Yes. So FTX is gearing up to distribute to the convenience class first, and it is then going to gear up to distribute to the non-convenience class. So we're going to talk about both those things. The first thing that people need to remember is that you need to complete your KYC, submit all the forms, etc., that they require of you to get the distribution, to be eligible to get the distribution.
What was the website? Claims.ftx.com?
Correct.
Okay. Make sure you've all KYC.
There's a new page available on there now. I sent you a screenshot. You have two options. You can sign up with BitGo or with Kraken as your distribution partner. This isn't financial advice, etc. I'm going to tell you what I am doing. BitGo is designed for institutions and institutional trading and institutional custody. I have a personal claim with FTX, and I have an institutional claim with FTX Creditor. With my institutional claim with FTX Creditor, I am going to use BitGo. With my personal claim, I am going to use Kraken. I have linked my Kraken account in a few clicks to the FTX distribution portal, which seemed pretty easy. I already had a Kraken FX account. Thank God I had a lot more funds in my Kraken FX account than I did in my FTX account. Oh my Emma, thank goodness.
Okay, so I would imagine that most customers would use Kraken, people who are just retail customers. Would you recommend that they create Kraken accounts now in order to link, or is there some other way to...
If you don't have a Kraken account, I would recommend setting one up.
Creating one and making sure that all of your information, I imagine, matches everything on your FTX claim.
Yes. And your FTX claim has to be KYC verified.
What if someone has, for example, moved addresses or something like that?
That's fine.
Okay.
Totally fine.
Prior, we didn't know how customers were going to get paid, and now it looks like they've chosen two distribution partners. So it seems likely or possible that you might be paid out in USDC, correct? Or how would they pay you?
I think it's most likely to be USD. I don't understand. I don't see why it would be USDC.
Why would they choose a crypto partner if they're just going to pay you in USD?
Because bankruptcies still need payment agents. If you're going to be paying 2 million creditors, you're going to need payment agents in loads of different jurisdictions. You need a payment agent. Following on to this, let's talk about the timeline a little bit. Like what's got to happen? First, they need to set a distribution record date. The earliest it could be would be Jan 3, but I've seen no announcements, nothing. And for that, they need to start paying people out, which they have not started doing. And they have until March to start paying people out, mid-March.
So that's the latest that they could pay the first. Okay.
So let's see what happens. When they start paying people out, I'll let people know on my Twitter, obviously. It will be to people who are KYC verified, who've linked their BitGo or Kraken accounts, and those people will start getting USD, is my guess, on those platforms. They might be given a choice. I think it'll be USD. I think that is the simplest and cleanest for these platforms. You can then do whatever you want with your money on those platforms. Why is the non-convenience class more complicated?
Just to be clear, the convenience class is for creditors with under $50,000 of a claim value, and the non-convenience class is if you have over $50,000 of a claim value.
Yeah. Well, convenience class is also kind of complicated because they have to adjudicate claims. Some people are bad actors and they don't want to pay them out, and like other people filed like 10 proofs of claim. And we're used to internet forms and being like, it's no big deal if I file 10. Well, in a court process, if you file a proof of claim, like that's really an important legal document. And so lawyers are going to have to go through your proof of claim. And a lot of people filed them wrong. And a lot of people gave advice on Twitter with no prior bankruptcy experience whatsoever or no legal knowledge whatsoever. And people filed stupid proofs of claim. And all those people might be last to get paid out because lawyers have to go through all these documents and adjudicate, like, hey, how much do we actually owe these people?
How can someone tell if they've properly filed their claim and or if there's some issue, like if they accidentally filed it twice or something?
It's too late now.
Okay. Well,
They're gonna find out.
okay.
If they accepted the schedule or did nothing, they're probably good to go. What matters the most, again, is the KYC. But the debtors are consistently filing more motions to disallow duplicate claims, etc. A lot of people will be familiar with that because they send emails, etc. The other thing is that, like, disputed claim reserve is quite large because of people like Celsius.
Mm.
For those that don't know, Celsius filed like $2.5 billion in claims against FTX. We're looking at you.
I was a Celsius customer, so sorry. But
I got my Celsius payout.
oh, finally? Louis finally got his Celsius payout. It's been so long. So what is happening with the Celsius claim? And also, I'm sorry if I look like I'm about to cry. I'm like sick and I'm feeling a little tickle in my nose. But anyway, I'm not crying. You're crying.
You look good, don't worry.
Thank you, Lou.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
What's happening with Celsius's claim?
Celsius basically the judge threw out Celsius's claims for $2.5 billion and was like, fuck to you. And they've appealed now. There are a number of appeals for plan confirmation that are still going through the court process. All of these things theoretically should slow things down somewhat.
Oh, like people's initial payout, for example?
Potentially. Basically, the debtors have to keep a reserve of money in case claims are adjudicated in the favor of the claimants that are fighting, right?
Mm.
Drum roll, I have an estimate of what the first payout is going to be. The first payout I estimate to be 80% of claim values.
Okay, for all creditors? Or do you mean for creditors with under 50?
Non-convenience.
Non-convenience?
Over 50K.
Okay, so for creditors with over 50K, Louis estimates you're going to get 80% back. If you had under 50K in your FTX account on the date of the bankruptcy, then you would get 119% of that back in your first payout.
Yes.
And then you're just done. And you won't get any future payouts, right? For convenience
Correct.
fees.
And remember, this is like petition date pricing. And basically, you're getting really screwed.
Yeah. So just a
What?
reminder, your claim value was dollarized on the petition date. So when Bitcoin was worth around $16,000, there's basically a snapshot of your account on that date. So your value of your claim is going to be much lower than it would be at today's prices, in case you haven't been keeping up with what's going on.
Basically, in Bitcoin terms, in the convenience class, you're getting about 20% recovery.
Brutal.
Like, if Bitcoin's at just under 100K and Bitcoin was 16K at petition date, 119 means you're getting like, so if you had one Bitcoin, you're in the convenience class. Isn't that ridiculous? That's just so crazy.
Yeah. Obviously, the headlines look good to say that you're getting 119% of your claim value back, but obviously, like, that's not really being realistic. If you were to have been able to hold your Bitcoins, in reality, you would obviously be much better off. But
like, you'd be in the convenience class today if you had 2 Bitcoin. You'd have a $32,000 claim. Your 2 Bitcoin are roughly worth $200,000 today. So that fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's fucking brutal. We're all getting fucked. Hey, as if it makes anyone feel better, I left 3.1 Bitcoins and 11.6 ETH in Celsius Network, and I got fucked too. So we're all in this together.
Getting fucked. Moving on. So I think 80% is the first payout, but you will get more payouts as time goes over the next 5+ years.
If your claim is over 50K.
Yeah. The Madoff case just got its final payout.
Wow. Then what makes you think they'll finish in 5 years? It could be much longer, obviously. Like
it could be much longer. It could be a decade.
So I guess if you don't want to wait around and constantly pay attention to the FTX bankruptcy, after your first payout, it's possible to just sell your FTX claim, correct? Are you still purchasing
Absolutely.
claims?
Cannot wait.
Hey, it's me, Tiff, and in case you've never heard of me before, I've been independently covering fraud and bankruptcies in the crypto space. Because of this, I know a lot of people who follow me or might recognize me were once customers of FTX. Well, that's where FTX Creditor comes in. FTX Creditor will buy your FTX bankruptcy claim and pay you immediately in USDC. FTX Creditor has actually bought more FTX claims than all of the other claims buyers combined. FTX Creditor even buys small claims as low as $1,800, all the way up to claims as large as $10 million. So if you're interested in selling your FTX claim for immediate liquidity, or in selling your Voyager, BlockFi, or Celsius stub, you can go to ftxcreditor.com or contact them on Telegram at @FTXCreditor or on X at ftxcreditor_com.
To get
Okay,
back
so
in the game, I'm bored. I want to go buy some claims. This is what I do.
Louis is a co-founder of a company called FTX Creditor where he will purchase your claim after the initial payout where you get 80% of your claim value. But if you don't want to stay tuned for years and years to wait around for your future payouts, Louis' company offers an option to purchase the future, I guess, value of what you're expecting, and gives
Yep.
you USDC immediately. So just an option for creditors, and I'll obviously slip in a little ad here.
Love it.
Just to be clear, not trying to force anyone into doing something they don't want to do, but it's just an option for
Totally.
people who don't want to pay attention to this for years.
I mean, look, like if you bought, we are not able to buy Bitcoin in our claim bankruptcy claim fund, but obviously Bitcoin far outperformed any of the bankruptcy claims that we bought over the last year, like
So do
by
you
a
wish
long
you just
shot. So
bought a bunch of Bitcoin instead of buying up bankruptcy claims?
yeah, but I have a business and we buy bankruptcy claims. I did personally buy a bunch of Bitcoin,
Good job. Good job, Lou.
and I will continue buying my corn.
Have you found more bankruptcies to work on? So the initial distribution record date still has not been set, so we'll keep you updated on that. But also, it sounds as though the latest that you can receive your initial payout is around March 2025 this year, so in a couple of months. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. And that's the little wrap up. We'll keep you posted. I love you, Lou. And then,
So, Tiffany, can
yeah,
you
right
quit
now I'm sick.
vaping?
I'm trying to quit vaping. I'm vaping less than usual. Hopefully, I can steadily decline to quitting.